social support, and even knowing when to get professional help.
Yeah, it was a lot to cover.
But I want to go deeper. What are some specific things in the research that really jumped out at you, the aha moments?
Okay, well, one of the most interesting studies I came across focused on high-intensity interval training.
HIT.
HIAT,
Okay.
exactly, on anxiety levels. They found that just 30 minutes of HIAT 3 times a week significantly reduced anxiety,
Great.
even more so than moderate cardio.
Interesting.
Apparently, HIIT releases more endorphins,
Ah, okay.
which gives you that mood boost that we talked about.
Wow. So short bursts of intense exercise could be the secret weapon in our fight against anxiety.
It's worth considering,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking for efficient ways to manage stress. And another interesting finding is that exercising outdoors,
Hmm.
particularly in nature, can make those effects even stronger.
That's why a walk in the park feels so good.
Yeah, there's a reason.
There's science to it.
Nature has this calming effect on our nervous system.
Mhm.
The sights, the sounds, even the smells of nature can lower cortisol levels.
Cortisol being the stress hormone.
Exactly, and create a sense of peace.
Okay, so next time I'm stressed, maybe I'll skip the gym and head to a trail.
Yeah, give it a try.
Speaking of finding calm,
Yeah.
I want to go back to the 4-7-8 breathing technique.
Okay.
We touched on it before. But what makes it so effective at calming the nervous system?
It's not just some mystical thing.
Okay.
There's science behind it. When you slow down your breathing, especially with that long exhale, you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system,
Okay.
which is responsible for rest and digest.
Mm.
This counteracts that fight or flight response
Oh.
that gets triggered by stress, and that leads to lower heart rate, lower blood pressure, less muscle tension.
So it's like flipping a switch from panic mode to chill mode.
Pretty much, yeah. And the more you practice, the better your body gets at it.
That's really good to know. It's like we can actually train ourselves
You can.
to be calm in those moments of stress.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm definitely going to be trying that. Now let's get back to healthy routines.
Oh,
You mentioned consistency is key, but life gets in the way.
all the time.
Any tips on actually building and sticking to those routines?
Well, one thing that helps is just focus on making one small change at a time.
Okay.
Don't try to do everything at once.
Right.
Start small, like setting a regular bedtime
Hmm.
or taking a 15-minute walk at lunch. And once that becomes a habit, you can add something else.
It's about baby steps.
Exactly. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And, celebrate those small wins. It's motivating.
And what about those days when sticking to a routine just feels impossible?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone to get back on track?
Be kind to yourself.
Okay.
Life happens. Things come up.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge it and get back on track. Progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection. I love that. Okay, now let's talk about social support.
Yeah.
Something we don't always make time for, but
Yeah.
it's so good for us. I know when I connect with friends and family,
Mhm.
I feel so much better.
Mm.
But is there research showing that social interaction can actually reduce stress?
Yes. More and more research is showing that social connection is super important
Wow.
for our mental and physical health. One study found that people who felt lonely or isolated had higher levels of cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Yes. And those with strong social support had lower cortisol levels
Wow.
and could handle stress better.
So spending time with loved ones isn't just fun, it's good for our health.
Exactly.
What about people who don't have a large social circle
Right.
or have social anxiety? How can we make those connections?
There are lots of ways to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
You can join a club or group, volunteer,
Right.
take a class, and even small interactions can make a difference.
Yeah.
Like talking to the barista,
Right.
chatting with a neighbor, or even just smiling at a stranger.
Yeah, it's those small things that really brighten your day. I'm also thinking about online communities.
Yeah.
Can virtual interactions be as helpful as face-to-face?
That's a good question. We're still learning about online communities. But while face-to-face is generally better for building strong connections,
Right.
online communities can provide a lot of support,
Hmm.
especially for people who feel isolated or have a hard time with in-person interaction.
So it's about finding what works for you.
Absolutely.
All right, for our last topic, let's go back to seeking professional help.
Okay.
We talked about it earlier, but I think we need to dive a little deeper.
Okay.
What are some specific signs that it might be time to talk to a therapist?
I think if you're feeling anxious or stressed and it's impacting your daily life,
Yeah.
your relationships, your work, your overall well-being,
Hmm.
it's time to get help.
And what about that stigma surrounding mental health?
Hmm.
I think a lot of people avoid seeking help because they don't want to be judged.
Yeah, no.
What can we do to change that?
Well, we need to keep talking about it openly and honestly. The more we share our stories, the more we break down those barriers. And remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and self-awareness.
It takes courage
It does.
to admit you need help.
Absolutely. It's like going to the doctor when you break a bone.
Right.
You wouldn't hesitate to get help then.
Yeah.
Our mental health deserves the same attention.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot in this part too.
We have.
Exercise, breathing routines, social support,
Yeah,
and the importance of getting help when you need it.
that's right.
What are your final thoughts as we wrap up this section?
What really stuck with me is the idea of making small, consistent changes. We don't have to change our whole lives overnight.
Yeah.
Even little things.
Yeah.
Like a few minutes of mindfulness or a quick walk
Right.
can make a huge difference.
Love that. Find what works for you
Exactly.
and make it a part of your life.
And remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's essential.
Okay, listeners, stay tuned for part 3, where we're going to put all this knowledge into action. All right, welcome back to our deep dive. We've made it to the final part. We've talked about mindfulness breathing techniques, exercise routines, social support, even seeking professional help.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. But now I want to get practical. What can we actually do, like starting today,
Yeah, that's the important part.
to manage this anxiety and stress?
Right. It's all about making these things work for you
Yeah,
in your daily life.
exactly. So let's say someone is brand new to mindfulness.
Okay.
What's something they can do right now, like to get started?
Okay, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
For the next 24 hours, set a timer on your phone to go off every couple of hours.
Okay.
And when it beeps,
Yeah.
take just 1 minute to focus on your breath. Notice how your chest rises and falls.
Yeah.
The air moving in and out of your nose.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
You're training your brain to be present, even when things are crazy.
Okay, I'm setting a timer as we speak. We've talked a lot about the 4-7-8 breathing method. How can someone work that into their day, especially when they start to feel anxious?
Okay, think of the 4-7-8 breath as your secret weapon.
Okay.
Identify your anxiety triggers, those things that make you stressed,
Yeah, okay.
like traffic deadlines, that email you have to send to everyone.
Right, the reply all.
Yes. And the next time you encounter one of those triggers, before you react,
Okay.
do 3 rounds of 4-7-8 breathing.
Hmm.
It's like you're hitting the reset button on your nervous system.
I like that a lot. So instead of panicking, we just take a few deep breaths.
Exactly.
What about our exercise fans out there? What's one thing they can do today to feel good?
Okay, just get moving.
Yeah.
Even 15 minutes is enough.
Hmm.
Go for a walk, a bike ride,
Right.
dance around your living room, whatever you enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's a tip from the research.
Okay.
Exercising outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
especially in nature, is even better.
So get outside if you can.
Yes.
Sunshine, fresh air, and exercise.
That's the trifecta.
The trifecta.
Yeah.
Okay, so routines can feel really overwhelming to people.
It can?
What's one small change someone can make today to start building a better routine?
Okay, so instead of changing everything at once, just focus on one area.
Okay.
Is it sleep? Food? Not taking enough breaks?
Right.
Once you've figured out what needs work, just make one small change
Okay.
today
Okay.
to start moving in the right direction.
Okay, give me an example.
So maybe set a bedtime alarm so you remember to wind down, or pack a healthy lunch, or block off 30 minutes in your calendar for a break.
Small changes can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Okay, social connection.
Yes.
We all crave it, but we're so busy.
We are.
What can we do today to feel more connected?
Okay, so instead of waiting for the perfect time to connect, just sprinkle little moments of connection throughout your day. Send a quick text to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Call your mom on the way home. Leave a comment on a friend's social media post.
Right.
Just little things.
Yeah.
To remind you that you're not alone.
I love that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big, elaborate thing.
Right.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Seeking professional help.
Uh-huh.
What can someone do today? If they're thinking about therapy, but not quite ready to commit.
Just do a little research.
Okay.
Look online or search for therapists in your area who specialize in anxiety and stress. A lot of therapists offer a free consultation. That'd be a great way to get a feel for their style and see if they're a good fit for you.
It's about gathering information and exploring your options.
Exactly.
And again, seeking help is not a weakness. It's a sign of strength.
Yes.
So we've explored so many different strategies today for managing anxiety and stress.
We have.
It's a journey.
It is.
And what works for one person might not work for another. So just be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Celebrate the small wins and keep looking for the things that help you feel your best. You deserve to feel calm, balanced, and in control.
Well said. And self-care is so important.
It is.
Taking care of your mental health is the best thing you can do for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you learned something new today.
Me too.
And that you feel empowered to take control of your well-being.
Absolutely.
Until next time, take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.
You deserve it.